You wake to candlelight flickering on stone walls, the kind of soft golden glow that doesn't so much illuminate the room as whisper, "You're still alive," probably. Your blanket is scratchy, your feet are cold, and someone outside is already ringing a bell with far too much enthusiasm for this hour. You're in 12th century Canterbury. The air smells of damp wood, overcooked barley, and that peculiar incense mix monks love, equal parts holiness and headache. The floor creaks beneath you as you step into your sandals. There's no breakfast yet, just prayer, silence, and the faint hope that someone will light a fire in the hallway soon. Welcome to monastic life. It's less dramatic than the legends make it sound, but it has its moments. Before we dive deeper, do the sacred act of our times. Like and subscribe. You don't have to shave your head or fast for 3 days, just a little click, and the stories keep flowing like honeyed mead. Now let's ease into tonight's journey. Because today, we walk with a man who wore silk before he wore robes, a man who served kings, challenged power, and paid the price in silence. His name is Thomas Becket. You walk down the cloister corridor, the cold stone echoing with the gentle shuffle of sandals and muttered Latin. But Becket's not here this morning, not yet. His chamber door remains closed, not locked, of course. That would imply fear, and Thomas Becket doesn't do fear, at least not in public. Once, he was the Archbishop of Canterbury. Before that, Chancellor of England, right-hand man to King Henry II. They dined together, laughed together, even rode into battle together. Well, rode in the same general direction. Historians still debate whether Becket actually lifted a sword or simply held the wine. Either way, they were close. Until they weren't. Because something happened when Thomas traded his court robes for the Archbishop's mitre. He changed. Or maybe the robe changed him. Either way, he began to challenge the king, especially on one little issue, whether royal courts should be able to punish clergy. Henry, of course, thought yes. Thomas, quite politely, thought absolutely not. That's how you get enemies, one firm no at the wrong royal moment. And so the rift began. It widened with every sermon, every defiant act cloaked in humility. And if you think church politics today is messy, you should try it when the punishment includes exile or worse. Yes, Becket was exiled for 6 years, lived in France, wrote letters, prayed a lot, probably perfected the art of meaningful sighing. Eventually, he was allowed to return. And now, here you are, walking the very halls he once walked, listening for footsteps, waiting for his door to open. You step into the cathedral. Massive pillars rise like stone trees. The air is cold, but the light, golden through stained glass, feels like a gentle benediction. You sit in the back pew, the same one, locals say, Becket used when he prayed alone. Someone once carved a tiny fish into the armrest, a secret symbol of resistance, or maybe just an artistic monk who liked fish. No one knows, but the carving's still there. As the choir begins to chant, you remember something curious. In Becket's time, monks believed that the smell of rosemary helped strengthen the memory, so they tucked it in their robes. Their idea of mental focus was herbal, not digital. Not a bad trade, honestly. A door creaks open. He's here. Tall, lean, cloaked in black. He walks with a calm that makes even stone seem hurried. People bow. He doesn't return the gesture, not out of arrogance, but focus, like a man balancing conviction on the edge of a blade. And you wonder, how does someone like this stand so tall under so much pressure? How do you stay still when power bends the ground beneath you? As the service ends, you follow the procession outside. Rain begins to fall, soft as ash. You wrap your cloak tighter and think about the road Becket walked, from luxury to simplicity, from royal courts to cold chapels. Not because it was easier, but because it was right. He didn't win every argument. In fact, he lost most of them. But he didn't bend. He stood quietly against a king. And for that, he was remembered. Now what do you take from this? Maybe you're not standing against a king. Maybe your battlefield is smaller. a toxic workplace, a bad habit, a fear of disappointing someone. But the principle holds. You don't need armor to be strong. You need a reason, a line you won't cross, a truth you won't trade for comfort, a quiet kind of courage that gets out of bed even when the room is cold and the world is loud. And that's the lesson. Steadiness over noise, conviction over convenience. So next time you face pressure, remember Thomas, the man who wore silk, then sackcloth, who chose silence over shouting, and whose legacy still echoes in stone. Next time, we visit a woman who ruled without a crown and nearly brought Europe to its knees. Her name? You'll have to return to find out.